Alright, for this next step, we're gonna need the Z drives. It's gonna be these 4 thick boys and the 4 thin boys. We're gonna go ahead and start with the thin boys. You can go ahead and use the M3 threaded inserts that look like this. Alright, we're gonna just go ahead and put them on top like this. There is like a flat side that fits in. So just make sure, like that. They should sit just square like that. And you're gonna use a soldering iron. You're gonna need a soldering iron. And just gonna go ahead and smush down slowly. Just apply just a tiny bit of force. And it'll start to sink. And let go when it's flat. Just grab your solder, apply just a tiny bit of pressure until it starts sinking. And let go when it's even. Okay, make sure they're nice and flat. Okay, lay it on this side, and there's one more on the side over here. Ah, so satisfying. So satisfying. Do it for all the other 3, and for the thick boys, you're gonna do 2 on the side. The one with the 2 holes here. So for the thick boys, you're gonna do 1 and 2. That. Okay, do it for all the other 3 also for the thick boys. Feel it. Make sure it's flat. You can feel it. Alright, if it's not, you can go ahead and adjust it a little bit after. So get the thick boys, thin boys, and the thick boys. Do the heat inserts, and we'll be back. Hi guys, for this next part, you're gonna need a 5x60 shaft. Alright, and also you're gonna need GT2 20T 9mm pulley. It's got grub screws in here. And also you'll need some kind of thread locker. I am using a orange thread locker. This is really similar to the blue from Loctite. It's actually slightly stronger. What this does is basically anything metal on metal, it will bond. And later on, you may have to use like a heat gun if you want to undo it. Now that's the biggest change with the Voron 2.4R2. I guess people are having problems with this thing coming off. I don't think it's a huge issue, but might as well do it as in a new manual. So go ahead and insert the grub screw. You don't have to apply a lot. Just put a tiny bit for the grub screw. Alright, just apply just a tiny bit, like literally a drop. I think this bottle had a leak and there's no more in there. Had a leak in there and some of this. It's still working. Just put a little drop, but I'm just gonna put a little dab because it was sort of leaking and just getting all over the place. Just a little tiny will do, and go ahead and screw it in. That's even too much probably. You just need like really tiny bit. Don't screw in all the way yet. Just literally just a little dab like that should be fine. These things are really strong, and as it gets screwed in. I use this for my electric skateboards because everything vibrates on an electric skateboard. Actually, measure out before, that's probably easier. So I'm gonna measure out 33 and mark it. 33. Measure out exactly 33. Draw a line. Make sure the screw's facing up. Go right on the mark. And go ahead and tighten the screw right at the mark. Okay, I'm gonna just double check. That's 33. That's exactly 33. Alright. And just tighten both screws. Wipe away some of this extra you don't need. And that should cure in 24 hours. That's pretty solid right there. And do it for all the other 3, okay? And we'll continue. Okay, you should have 4 of these now. They should all align the same. Right. All looking very good. Set it aside. Next, you're gonna need a 625 bearing. 4 of these. There's 2 grub screws that come with it. Apply some thread locker on there also. Just a tiny dab will do, because these things are super strong. You don't have to put, just go ahead and screw in. Just a tiny dab. And you're gonna need a M5 shim or M5 1mm spacer. You need 4 of these. You're gonna need 3 625 bearings. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and insert 2 of these spacers. Followed by a 625 bearing. Oh, there we go. Like that. And then another 2 shims. Spacers. And you're going to go ahead and insert the knob this way. Like that. This should fit in nicely. Put another 625 bearing on top there. It should look just like that, and then one on top here. It should look like that. We might need to move the bearing a little bit later, so just put it in there, but it should look like that, and you should be ready for the next step. Now go ahead and screw down this pulley here. Now before you screw it down, make sure one of the grub screws is facing the flat side of here. So you can sort of feel it. Don't tighten all the way. If you get it all the way, it's gonna go right there, the flat side. And then tighten the other side. Alright, final should look like that, and the bearing should be able to move out a little bit out later. There we go. Move it out a little bit. We're gonna fit it in like that. That should be done. Do this for the other 3. Next, you also need GTT 188mm belts. Now we're gonna go ahead and grab one of these Z drives. And we're gonna go ahead and fit the belt like this. And we can adjust it later. Go ahead and fit the Z drive in there. The bearing should just fit right in. You might have to adjust the bearings on the end a little bit. Okay, it should look like that. And you should see the belt in there. Just pull it out a little bit to the bottom here. And you should see everything moving really nice, fits in nice. Alright, go ahead and use the other side of the Z drive. It should fit right like that. Everything's moving nicely. Next, you're going to need M340, 6 of these. Go ahead and screw it in. It's fun. This is a lot of fun. Alright, go ahead and screw them in. Oh, you can see the shaft moving nicely. I moved the motor. Shaft moving nicely. So everything installed great. Should look like that. Looking great. Now build your other 3 Z drives and we'll continue. Hi guys, you should have all 4 done now, Z drives. One of my parts actually worked and I didn't realize, so I grabbed another part, so I got a mixed color. These are supposed to be black, but it really doesn't matter because it goes on the bottom of the printer. So let's go ahead and grab one of these. We're gonna grab, this is supposed to be accented part. You're gonna need M5 nuts, one of these, and also you're gonna need 3 M3x8s. You're gonna place it where you have the 3 thread screws. Alright, you're gonna align these holes and just screw these in. Oh yeah, don't forget your nut. Don't put the nut in the bottom here. Make sure it doesn't slide out. And go ahead and insert the M3x8. Screw them in. Alright, it should look like that. The nuts should be staying in place like that. Do it for the other 3. Some of these are going to be opposite. Just make sure to align the holes. Alright. And we'll continue. Alright, you should have all 4 ready to go. Let's go to the next step. For this next step, you're going to need the 2GT16 tooth pulley. Go ahead and insert this eye. And go ahead and apply some thread locker. Just a tiny dab will do, that's way too much. And I'm gonna go ahead and get it on here. Just do the flat side first, where it's flat, alright? You're gonna measure out 10.7 from the bottom of the motor, not this part. And measure out 10.7, which is gonna be like just a little bit under 11 millimeters. So right about there. Go ahead and screw in the flat side first. Okay. Go ahead and double check. Go a tiny bit more. Let's try that. Yeah, that's about that. Go ahead and screw in tight. I would say you really need a grub screw for the flat part. I don't think you need it for both, but you can if you are kind of paranoid. I'll put it on both, just be on the paranoid side. Now they should look like this. You should have a little bit of space in there. All right, 10.7. Now make sure you measure from here to actually the top part of the lower part of the pulleys. That should be 10.7, not to just the edge. All right, do it for all the 4 motors, and we'll continue. All right, next part, we're gonna grab a motor. Make sure the wire connection is over here, and we're gonna use M3x8, 3 M3x8 attach to the motor. M3x8. Attach this part. Alright, do it for the other 3 motors. Hi guys, in this next step we're going to flip the printer upside down. The back of the printer should be over here. Grab one of these that will lie perpendicular to this. Alright? And then we would want the other one on the right over here. Alright, they're gonna face. And then this other one is gonna go over here. And this other one should go like that. Okay, we'll just go ahead and work with one of these. Actually, let's go ahead and work on this corner first. So you're gonna insert 4 T-nuts. 1, 2, 3, 4. go ahead and use an Allen wrench to make sure it's on there and slides well. Slides well. Put it in there. And you're gonna align these two guys. This other guy here. Alright, align these holes so it's aligned with these holes, because you'll want to align it here. So I'm gonna align the screw T-nut holes. Alignment, good alignment there. Okay, make sure they're flush, 90 degree, and go ahead and tighten them. Okay, nicely and tight. Next, you're gonna go ahead and grab this guy and align these holes. And go ahead and put the pulley in like that. And you might have to get a little bit closer. And grab a M510 and screw in the outer hole, alright? Outer hole. Don't tighten all the way yet. You grab one of these belt tighteners, place them like that. It looks like that. You're gonna place the belt tightener here, and go ahead and put another M510 to the T-nuts. Okay, don't tighten yet. Now this is gonna tighten this belt here, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull this and go all the way. It's very tight. Now I'm gonna go ahead and tighten it. And you can check the motor moving well. Very tight. Okay, you're gonna grab a rubber feet, M516. Go ahead and screw it in. There you have it. So you got one of the Z drives done. This is what drives the flying gantry, and then this gives you clearance to put all the electronics on the bottom. And then the rubber feet obviously helps you absorb some of the moisture. Sorry, not moisture, vibration. Now do it for the other three sides. The orientation might be slightly different on the opposite side, but it's pretty much the same thing. And we'll continue. So that's the back of the printer. You can see the bed is, this is the front. And when you're done, you should have this, this, and this guy. Should look like that. Hi guys, we're gonna go ahead and install the Z idlers. Make sure that's back of your printer. We're gonna go ahead and start at this corner here. You wanna get the idlers. It's gonna look like a smiley face. And basically, we're gonna have it going like this. So the eyebrows and the eyes come out like this. We're gonna mount it on here like that, and also the other side is gonna go like this to here, and also on the opposite side, same way. Okay, but we'll just go ahead and work on this one corner here. All right, go ahead and grab the GT20 tooth. There should be 4 of them. All right, you're gonna grab one of these guys. You're gonna fit over. It's gonna look like that. So the holes should line up like this. And it's gonna go on like this, right here on the corner. This is the front, right? Grab a M316. Grab one of these M3 hex nuts. You can put the nuts through here on the top of this face guy, and the other one's gonna go through here. Go ahead and screw in. This is your Z idler belts, also belt tension control. So I wouldn't screw it in all the way. You can. But I will actually screw in when you install the belts. That way you can make it tense. So I'll just do it right there. Later on when you install the belts, go ahead and screw this in to increase the tension. So I'll leave it at that. And grab on the M530. Alright, next grab the idler. Screw in on the M530 through here. The opposite side of this, so later on you can unscrew it if you need it. Not that you'll ever need to. But if you screw on this side, it's going to get wedged in there, and you won't have access to the screw. And there is nothing holding on the other side, because I'll show you here in a second. Alright, when you're done, it should look like that. There's a little bit of movement. Oh, it doesn't really matter. This is just so the belt could move a little bit. You're gonna insert 2 T5 T-nuts. Straighten out. Okay, they should freely slide. And then go ahead and insert the M530 in here like that. And go ahead and align it. Screw in like halfway. And then go ahead and slide it. Slide is based. Slide it all the way over. Right? And then go ahead and screw it down. It should look like that. You got the face there. And this is where the belt is gonna go down to the Z motor down here. And it's just an idler. But later on you can adjust the belt tension, like I said, using the screw here. Don't screw it all the way in. Now do this for all the sides and you're ready to go to the next step. So guys, when you guys are done, you should have one side here and the other side there. And the backs like that. The idlers are ready to go. So far you should have the Z motors installed, or the Z drives they call it. And then you got the 4 idlers, 3, 4. And let's go to the next step.